The Plummet is the Phoenix Suns. Buddies, you're cooked.
The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Let me take away with.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Summit. I'm Antonio Perez, joined by CB, Chris Culture Boy. Danny will be joining us later on. He is on a call, but he will be joining us. But we're going to be talking an NBA draft, of course. Go through some little NBA draft night scenarios. Bradley Beal, Phoenix Sun, we're going to be talking about that. And at the end, we're going to be drafting players under 6'3", which is it's a large spectrum of players. But nonetheless, Chris, summits and plummets, man. What's the summit? What's the plummet? It could be NBA draft. It could be anything.
I think to start, I think my summit would probably be the Lakers in the NBA draft. I think if they stay at 17, I think there's a lot they can do with that. I think there's a lot of ways they can go, a lot of players that should be available. So I'm excited to see about that because, I mean, I'm pretty sure we'll talk about it at some point, but the new CBA making it difficult to, build your team out outside of, signing guys and signing your top guys. So I think this is going to be important for the Lakers. So that's more my summit. I think my plummet is I just seen that Lonzo might be out for all of next year, like almost confirmed by the Bulls doctors. So that's my plummet. I'm a big Lonzo Ball, BBB, the whole family. So it's kind of sad to see that, my boys though.
It felt like just a couple years ago where LeVar's telling 29 out of 30 teams, just stop. He's not coming to your workouts. No, he ain't coming.
I love that.
And that was a fun time. And that Foot Locker commercial was hilarious of him. It was like John Isaac, De'Aaron Fox, Jason Tatum. It was hilarious because now they all look so different, bro. They was really like just babies, bro. They was just kids. And now all of them are going into year 7. Like
no beards, no crazy hair. They all had clean face, low cuts. Now look at them.
Oh, nah, Fox went opposite. Fox had the
hair, the fro.
Fox was crazy
with like the little thing, the little bead.
Yeah, like the one little twisty hanging out, bro. Fox was crazy. Him and Bam at Kentucky and Malik. So fun, bro. And all that to lose. But nonetheless. My summit, finally NBA draft time. Finally get to see Wemby walk on that. I think he'll be there for the draft. I don't know if he'll be home. I don't think NBA players really do that. But he'll finally walk across the stage. He'll be a San Antonio Spur. It's been a long time coming. And we just get to see the madness play out. I'm hyped for it. I do have a plummet for the draft. But I'll save it because Danny's here. Danny, can you just give us a summit real quick before I give a plummet?
A summit for what? The NBA draft?
Yeah.
A summit for the NBA draft. You know what it is?
What?
A summit for NBA draft is that we have a lock at number 1. Something we haven't had in a long time.
I was just talking about that. I was just like, I'm glad like we finally get to see Vic walk across the stage.
Not even about Vic. I'm saying like any lock. Like when's the last time? I guess Zion, but there was talks that Ja could have went 1.
Very late, but I think that was like, all right, we have too much time on our hands type thing. Markelle Fultz was a lock at 1. Technically, not for the Celtics, but he was a lot. Not for the Celtics. They traded back for a reason, but like once the Sixers traded up, it's like, oh well, you have to take this guy because he's super athletic, 20-point per game college scorer, which is never a good sign. It means they are only focused on scoring. But yeah, and then my I'll do my plummet and then I can pass it right back to you since Chris already went. My plummet is Damian Lillard. Like Chris said, bro, I'm sick of this man. Like, it's the pump fake, and he's like, y'all better do the right thing. And then they're like, we'll get you Kyle Lowry. And I'm like, all right, I'll stay. Like, it's just like, I don't know, man. I'm sick of the dude. Like, and but I am excited to see what the draft will bring for that, and we'll talk about that later. But Danny, you can wrap up the plummet, and then we're gonna talk about some NBA draft prospects.
The plummet is the Phoenix Suns. Buddies, you're cooked. They're not going to be good for a long time coming. You got a scorer who's 35 years old and aging. You got Devin Booker. So I saw this and I'm really going to exploit it. You got Devin Booker, a bigger Devin Booker, and a smaller Devin Booker.
Yeah, and that actually, before we talk about the prospects, yeah, we can talk about Bradley Beal. And yeah, you're right. Manuel Acho made like, oh, this is a king size Snickers. Here's a regular size Snicker. Here's a fun size Snickers. They're
Not
all the
even fun
same
size.
thing.
You got mini.
Is Bradley Beal mini Snickers?
He's a mini Snickers, man.
That's hard, man. Just 2 seasons ago, my man was dropping 30. Respect him.
He's
That was
tough, but
that's because
he's good. But
Russ.
guess what? 30 plus 30 plus 30, that's 90. You still losing that game.
That's crazy. That's facts, though.
No one else has scored. Who's the best other scorer? Torrey Craig?
It's Wainwright. It's Wainwright, I fear. Stinks.
Oh, no. So one thing I wanted to bring up is everyone like, okay, so you talk about they have 5 players under contract, and then a lot of people are like, all right, but like Ayton's gonna get traded to help build out that depth. Nobody wants DeAndre Ayton, man. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Who? Nobody wants DeAndre Ayton, man. Like, I remember someone was like, oh, we go trade Ayton for Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. I'm like, he's not worth either one of them. Miles just signed his
deal. In Philly for Paul Reed.
Well, yeah, because how like they're both talented, but one's a little more talented. I think Paul Reed's getting into his like, I'm a grind for my minutes. I'm a play hard defense. So I don't know, maybe, but yeah, it's like Ayton's not going to be the key to fill out that depth. And something I said in a video today is like, okay, if they don't get hurt, yes, they got a shot at winning a championship. If they don't get hurt,
a shot.
They're a shot. I think they'll be title contenders. However, if one of them go down, then you're looking at 2 stars and a horrible bench, which is not how you build champions. Every team in the past 5 years that's won a championship, 2 stars, awesome role players, talking 8, 9 guys deep. They're not going to have that. I mean, of course, we got a long way to go, but Danny got out his funny but accurate thoughts. I got out my thoughts. Chris, what's your thoughts on the Bradley Beal to the Phoenix Suns?
I love it. Only reason I say I love it, I think the NBA is becoming more and more arms race. Like you try to get as much firepower as you can at the end of the day. I'm not necessarily a huge proponent of just trying to outscore people. I mean, you got to play some defense. You got to have some balance on your roster. I do get that. But at the same time, for what they gave up for him, which was practically nothing, in my opinion, they were thinking about waiving Chris Paul anyway. Landry Shaman's been stealing money far too long. So they really just got him out of there. And I feel like at the end of the day, they made good with what they were going to do. Like I said, if they had other plans, like if they weren't going to trade Chris Paul and they just threw him in, like, that'd be different. But I think since they were going to waive him anyway and they got out Landry Shaman's contract, I mean, it's worse things you can do than bring in Brad Beal. And then I also think it gives you a legitimate reason to trade Ayton now. Like, I think people thought you had a reason before, but it was kind of skeptical because you picked him over Luka, picked him over Trey. So you kind of, they paid him to, make it make sense. But now with you having another third guy who can be a quote unquote big three, like you said, you can try to trade Ayton for some depth. Now there's some young teams who don't really have anything going right now that can use a player who's already on that rookie max extension. They don't have to pay, things like that. But are they going to net you the assets you want that's going to help you compete for a championship? So I think that's the hard question that Phoenix has for right now. But just overall, I like the Brad Beal moves. Like I said, I think they gave up next to nothing for it. So, I mean, I think you just got to respect it from that standpoint.
Yeah, I definitely see it. Danny, do you have something to say?
Nothing else to say, no.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to say, yeah, I get it. Like, the package really wasn't a big deal whatsoever. They were already looking to get rid of Chris Paul. Landry Shamet is Landry Shamet. Danny knows.
Generational thief.
Generational trade package merchant. But
Dario
yeah, like there's ups and
2.0.
downs. Dario Saric, RIP to him, man. He just be getting thrown in any package, but he's solid. I like him. I used to mess with him in Philly, but yeah, like there's ups of it, but they're gonna have a problem staying healthy, and they're gonna have to stay healthy though, if they want to be serious. It's gonna take a lot of load management. It might even take a trip. it might even take a trip to like y'all just weren't healthy regular season. Y'all might have to duke it out in the play-in. But yeah,
Seven
we all
seed,
seem to
I
have
fear.
7 seed. They're gonna have to run into the 2 seed Ant
Lakers.
Timberwolves.
2 seed
Ant
Lakers.
led 2 seed Thunder. After they say screw it, we'll trade for Dame.
Yo, interesting thing. Every 2K rebuild I see, the Thunder and the Hawks are like phenomenal.
Because 2K believes that in that process that like they just think it works like that. It just does not.
Potential greater than skill on 2K. Like the Thunder are always good. The Hawks, the Cavs.
Cavs.
Great.
Oh
The
my
Pelicans are
God.
ridiculous every time. 2K is ridiculous.
Bro,
Yo,
they be
the
winning
Spurs,
62
the
games.
Spurs low key get good too sometimes.
As soon as if you do let them get Victor, out of nowhere you just see they sign Kyrie and they sign Jalen Brown and they have like a big three.
Which, to be fair,
and then
is a
Trey Jones
possibility.
becomes a superstar. What?
And you're not wrong.
What's a possibility, Danny?
Any of that to pair with Victor. Like Kyrie to the Spurs would be tough right now.
Because bro, they got like $5 on the books right now, bro. Literally. They can just sign anybody. Like they not paying no one.
Right. I didn't want to ask this on the other show. If you're the Celtics, are you trading Jalen Brown for Scoot?
Nope.
It's because the Celtics. So Scoot is going to be the better player, and Tatum is young, so like it's not way too out of the timeline. But like these dudes are trying to win now.
I think it's
Jalen Brown gives them a better chance.
Is Scoot not that far off from like being a win now player though?
No, I don't even think it's because of that. I think it's just this one thing. The one thing that makes me look at that different. In the NBA, with like the last 10 years, you try to pair. They've been trying to pair wings, right? You got the Kawhi, PG. You got people trying to get the 2 and the 3 solidified. The Celtics have that already, so it's like, damn, to think about breaking that up, even for Scoot. And I'm a big fan of Scoot. So I'm not. I don't think he's far off being win now either, Danny, at all. But only thing is like with Jalen Brown and Tatum literally being 2 wings, and that's been like the prototype what NBA's been going for the last couple of years, like trying to stack your wings. I think it's just hard to give up on that.
I'm glad you brought that up because the Sixers have been building the opposite of that. They've been stacking point guards and bigs.
Yeah,
they try to make Shaq and Kobe, bro. That era is over, man.
That's dead, man.
I mean, and here's the thing: like the Nuggets have a good big and a good guard. The big is a guard. they're cheating. It's not the same.
Hey, y'all know what it's more like for the Nuggets team we just had? It was more like that Lakers team that had Karl Malone and Gary Payton, like different. But as far as like they had their 2 players, and then everybody else was like role players, but they were accelerated role players. And
Malone and Payton in a Lakers jersey.
Oh, it was definitely stinky.
Dennis Rodman in a Lakers jersey.
In a Spurs jersey. What's that smell?
They had Victor Wembanyama take the New York City subway. And his head was hitting the top of the train.
They use this dude as a spectacle.
They put my boy on the subway, bro. Oh my God!
Send him to San Antonio today. Free him, bro. What is this?
He'll get a limo and it's cramped. But speaking of Wemby,
Pop gonna pick him up every day. He's not gonna have to drive ever.
So speaking of Wemby, we'll talk about some NBA draft prospects. So kind of like for the NFL draft, every position we had like a best and a favorite, a potential bust. Hey, let's just go around the table right now. Danny, you could do, we're not going to do the best. We know the best. We could just talk about your favorite, a sleeper, and a guy you think will be a bust in this upcoming draft.
Yeah, so my favorite is, man.
It could be Isaiah. It could be Wong, bro. It could be Wong.
No,
it's cool.
No. My favorite is Brandon Miller. You actually hear me talk a little bit bad about him in the other show, but I think this man's game when he's on, like he can shot create. He's 6'10", 6'9". He looks like Kevin Durant, and if he can get his shooting down, he damn well might be Kevin Durant from Alabama. Because guess what? He's called Kevin Durant's called Easy Money Sniper. They're gonna call him Easy Money Pistol because he got in that little pistol thing.
He's Easy Money Assist Man. But no, I like that one because I think Brandon Miller has been taken a little bit through the mud because of him potentially getting taken over Scoot. That's not his fault. And 2, yeah, he had a bad NCAA tournament. But I agree with you. Look at the upside. We're talking about his finishing could get better, and it did get better throughout the year. So that's one thing that you could be positive on. And I throw out this term almost like it's a slanderous thing, but it's really not. He's a Paul George variant. 3-level
No,
scorer, good on
he's a
defense.
Tatum variant.
Exactly. Yeah, Tatum is a Paul George variant. He's just better than Paul George. But everyone is a Paul George variant at the end of the day. And Brandon Miller can be a very good Paul George variant. Chris, I don't know if you had any thoughts before we kick it back to Danny's sleeper or bust, whatever order he wants to go in.
I'm getting my best player, right? Oh no, not best player, favorite player.
We could. I was just say if you had any thoughts on Danny's pick for Brandon Miller being his favorite.
Oh my bad. Yeah, Danny, I think that's incredible. Spot on. Honestly, like I said, if Vic was in this draft, Brandon Miller would be going 1 or 2. Like, and it's for a reason. He's everything Danny said. I think what it is, he's a scorer for real. Like, he's a scorer first. And in basketball, Kyrie Irving, Mr. Uncle Drew always said it's always about buckets, and he's gonna be able to get a bucket. So I'm with you.
I tried telling Tony this. There were some points of the year where people thought he was going like 2.
Yeah.
Because everyone knew Victor was going 1. But
before the little trouble, he was slotted in 2 almost at points of the time. He was. I seen it too.
I seen him I still see him slotted at 2.
Same.
Yeah, for fit. I could see it.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we move on, should we all give our favorite and then we all give our sleeper? Okay, yeah. All right. Then Chris, me and you were talking a little bit about our favorite player before the draft, but I'll let you have the floor or before the show. But yeah.
Well, yeah, my favorite player in the draft, I think I said it in the last show too, is Anthony Black, man. I think dude he's gonna be one of them ones, man. I just feel it. I feel like he's gonna be one of those guys because he's 6'6", point guard. He could play 1 or 3 positions. He can guard 1 or 3 positions. And the thing is, with him being such a high pick that literally takes defense first, and I wouldn't even say I think that's his best asset, but it's not like far and away his best asset. I think that makes him special because he can become a plug and play guy on a good team or on a bad team. Because bad teams usually don't play defense while they're bad. They can't stop anybody. So you pick this kid early. I think he's going to be one of those guys. So he's easy my favorite player, and I think he took over a lot of ball handling responsibilities when Nick Smith was out at Arkansas this past college season. So he was able to kind of show his full game. And D Black's definitely my favorite player.
Yeah, and dude, we were talking about it. He's awesome. Like, he reminds me a lot of, I mean, the jumper's not there yet, but Lonzo, like a tall guard who's a really good defender and a really good playmaker. Danny, did you have any thoughts on Anthony Black before I give out my favorite?
Nah, he's a hooper, man. Like, nothing more to say. He can hoop. It's all you.
Yeah. So my favorite player, he's not as flashy. I guess Anthony Black's not as flashy either. He's not like, but mine might be a legit role player in Jarris Walker. Like I was telling Chris before the show, this is the highest drafted role player ever. This is the highest drafted Draymond ever. Like, he can be, and he has the flashes to be a good 3-level scorer. Like, he's got the shot creation flashes, but where he eats is being a really good defender, a tenacious rebounder, and dude, like and there are teams up early in the draft who we already got our 1 and 2. Like we were saying with the Pistons on Theater and College Hoops. Make sure you guys go check that out. Shout out to Subi. But what I was saying on the show is like what everyone was saying, which Danny said, which was a really good idea with a different prospect though, is they already have their guys. They got Ivy, they got Duran, they got Cade. They need a glue guy. They need someone who's going to go in there and get dirty. And obviously, they're all young guys. They're all tenacious. But a real one, I think Jarris Walker, he could be that for a young team or even a contender. He could get plugged into contender real quick.
Yep, agreed.
Y'all want to go Snake or Danny? Do you want to take it off?
I'll take it off.
All right, go ahead. Sleeper round. Pause. Whoa. All right. Sorry, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Hey, when you run the tape back, you're gonna see in my eyes when you said, "Dan, you want to take it off?"
That's what I said. That's what I meant. I meant take off, and then I meant the round. Hey, man, that's right. That's not the worst thing ever on this show, but that's crazy.
Someone said he likes the tight. We're gonna move on to tight ends before.
Oh yeah, that was. That might be the worst, man. That
got it. They got it right there.
That was horrible.
Oh, wait, did you say we're gonna be like examining tight ends or something like that?
Yo, All right, man. Just who your sleeper pick, man?
My sleeper pick is a guard out of the University of Miami. One of the best players in the draft, in my opinion. He's going to be a second-round steal. It's Isaiah Wong. I think he's a top 5 scorer in the nation, actually. He can score at all 3 levels. He got to be hitting on defense like Tyrese Maxey. But you can hide someone on defense when you got a good team around you. I think the Celtics hid a bunch of players on defense. I don't think Brogdon's a phenomenal defender by all means, but he got hidden.
Yeah, man. Yeah, Isaiah Wong is the definition of if you know, you know. Yeah, he nice. So an Instagram page that helped me out a lot with my scouting is Global NBA Scouting. They have Isaiah Wong going 56 to the Grizzlies. Now, obviously, will he get plugged in as backup point guard right away? No, but what you could get for him, he could be a spark plug for a team like that off the bench, especially they're not going to have a job for the first 25. The greatest backup point guard of all time, Tyus Jones, is going to fill in and lead them to a 25-0 season. But yeah, I've known Wong for a long time because of you. Chris knows he's a hooper. Even Subi knows he's a hooper. That he's getting slept on. He really is. I think a lot of people want to talk about someone who's a tough shot taker, tough shot maker that could go in the second round. A lot of people are looking towards Amani Bates because he was a high school phenom. Isaiah Wong is legit like that. At a good program, actually averages, good stat. No shot to Amani Bates. No shot at all. But I like Wong.
One thing about Wong is he's put on 30 pounds of muscle since his freshman year. Speaks a lot of volume.
Body.
He was skinny. He was skinny coming in. He's beefy now.
Yeah.
He's only gonna get stronger.
Yeah, man, and that's really good for him. Chris, did you have any thoughts on Wong, or did you just want to give out your sleeper pick?
No, Danny's been right all year. Every time he's mentioned Isaiah Wong, could do nothing but shake my head. Just correct. He's a hooper. He's a actual bucket, literally.
Danny, when's Dingle entering the draft?
He transferred to St. John, so I think Jordan Dingle that's right. Next year should be a 23-year-old senior.
Hey, he gonna find a home. But Chris, who's your sleeper for this year's NBA draft?
Keontae George from the Baylor Bears, 100%. Keontae George is slotted right now. The last mock I seen, I think it had him going 17, I want to say, something like that. Early in the year before, mid-year, he was at 8, in the top 10, 100% to go. He's a freshman. He was the best player on Baylor by far. So, freshmen going to slumps. So a lot of people kind of wrote him off a little, not wrote him off, but pushed him down draft boards, thought he wasn't ready, blah, blah, blah. I think this kid is going to be the Devin Booker of this draft as far as a guy you pick in that teens range that is easily a top 7 type of talent in this draft. And I think Keontae George is that. Last year, even I think, I was on Sideline Summit by that time. I had talked about Jaden Hardy being one of my guys. And I think he's a little bit bigger Jaden Hardy, where I think he can contribute today and then, help a team right now. So I think Keontae George is that guy, my sleeper.
Yeah, Keontae George is another guy. They're going to realize it's too late. Down the road, some team's going to be like, damn. And, hey, man, that's their fault, not the team that's going to be blessed with him. It's hard to call him a sleeper because he's the brother of an NBA player. But y'all heard me talk about Chris Murray on the last show, man. Chris Murray, he going to help a team out just like Keegan did. Good defender. Can be a really good shooter from outside. And he's going to fall in those 20s, mid-20s, hopefully fall to a team that needs shooting and just needs a 3-and-D guy. That's blessed because, paying for a 3-and-D guy is expensive nowadays. It really is. But when you can just draft them, it's so much better. So you got to pay them $2 and they go out there and give it their all. So he's my sleeper just to keep it short. But Danny, is there a bust in this draft?
I think Derek Lively.
Oh, Derek Lively?
West Town pride. When's the last time you saw a West Town player come be good in the NBA?
Come on, man, that ain't fair. That's
Mo
like
Bamba,
that's like the Ohio,
Mo Bamba
that's like the
stinks. Cam Reddish.
That's like the Ohio
stinks.
State quarterback thing, man. That's like the Ohio State quarterback thing.
It could be, but I
Are
don't.
you
I
out
really
on
don't see.
CJ Stroud? Yeah, I get it. I get it. Duke centers.
Historically, on top of that, Duke Center from Westtown.
No. There's a good Duke center out there. I'm just blinking. That's all.
Jalil Okafor.
Chill. Come on, yo. I remember for a solid week, he averaged like 18 and 10 on the Pelicans, and we're like, yo, he's so back. Like, I remember that. But Chris, Chris isn't a hater for the most part. Chris likes players. He's a player guy. I know that you think someone's gonna be a bust.
Cam Whitmore, unfortunately. I do. I said it on the last show. I know y'all hate me for it. I'm sorry. Shout out Villanova. But at the end of the day, bro, I don't see it. I don't see what everybody else see. And I really am trying to see it because I don't want to be a hater. I don't want to be a hater. But I have to be on this one. I'm just not sold on a top 10 pick. Now, right outside the lottery, like 14 or like 18 range, perfect. But I've seen him in
18.
yeah,
Damn.
14 to 18. I think that's like the perfect. I think, like I said, I think he's a player that's built to be a role player on a good team now. But as far as like top 5 or top 8, I don't know. I think you just can.
So you don't
get
see his potential, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Like I said, I think he's about not as good as he's going to be, but I think as far as what he's going to contribute now isn't going to really grow much in his career. I think he is what he's going to be. He's going to grow in that role, like be a better scorer, maybe. But a person who's coming in that scoring is the first thing, and if you're not like I said, the places he might go, I don't know if he's gonna be able to show that. I think he's gonna look not as good as everybody else. So that's why I think he's gonna be a bust. I'm not trying not to hate on him, but yeah, I just didn't see it all year. Like I didn't see what everybody else saw. I just didn't see it.
He ducked Temple, and Villanova lost to Temple for like the first time in God knows how long. That was the best week of my life. Temple would have won the City 6, and then they got destroyed by UPenn, so they had to settle for a
30
tie of it.
keys.
But oh, dude, it was so we were on a like steamroll, like we were steamrolling through the City 6, and then we got destroyed by UPenn. But nonetheless, I have to pick a bust as well. Oh, I'm such a player guy. Like I don't want to do this. And this is kind of vague. One of the Thompson twins are going to fail. One of them. Off the
I think
fact
it's going to be ironic. The one that gets drafted lower is going to be better. Straight off irony.
it's and there's a reason and irony and one's going to end up in a better situation and they're not going to be rushed to be the guy on a team. Now, even Amon, who could get drafted by the Rockets, he's not going to be the guy on that team. They got Jalen Green. They already have Jabari Smith. They have Alperen Sengun. And so
that
he would be the
guy,
point guard for that
Sengun.
team, but he's going to have to come in and be the point guard for these guys. He's supposed to be like taming everything up. Yeah, he's 20, but he's just a kid, man. You got to send him to try and control Jalen Green. What not saying like Jalen Green's a hothead. It's a weird play style to play with. Maybe I don't watch enough Jalen Green. Hopefully, maybe Rockets fans can sort me out on that one. But I'm not preying on any of their downfalls. I'm with them. I'm 100% with them. I like the work they're putting in on their jump shots. One of them is bound to fail though, because there's no such thing as good brothers in the NBA either. I don't know if anybody can think of one. Don't say the Holiday brothers because
Tyson Trey.
I've been proven wrong.
Wait.
Wrong. Two legends.
Are we not about to talk about the
Billy Legends, Marcus and Markeith?
Yes, the infamous Jokic
God,
destroyers.
They stink, man. Yo,
Do you remember what the Jokic did to them?
oh
Bro,
yeah, I
laid
remember
them
that.
out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
He pushed. Well, Marcus
That was
on the
Markeith.
team.
Yeah, he pushed Markeith,
Yeah.
and then
See, now that's an interesting story. Just real quick, who is better out of them two?
Marcus, 100%.
Marcus, hell yeah.
Yeah,
Markeith got a ring though.
he do.
I don't care. Ring don't
They
matter
the
when
same.
bum.
They the same thing, but they both bums. However, before we move on to this next segment, Marcus Morris hit a game winner against the Oklahoma City Thunder in 2018. Fun fact.
Did you know they're both J.R. Smith but a power forward?
They really just J.R. Smith variant. Michael Porter Jr. is a J.R. Smith variant, just like everyone's a Paul George variant. And KD, KD's like
the final
the
boss of the Paul George variant.
he's the best timeline. He's the best timeline Paul George.
He's like, and then he has like the Reaper hat on with the thing. Yeah, I can see it. I'm painting
Yeah.
the picture right now. I see it.
It's like the Spider-Verse, except it's the PG verse, where like Miles is like PG, and then like Spider-Man 2099, Miguel O'Hara, he's that's KD, and then you got all your different ones, and then bam, uh, Brandon Stewart, right? She's Spider Gwen,
She
female
is.
KD. See, the Paul George verse exists.
It is.
Now
And
moving on to
the Jokic versus
go ahead.
this too. Jokic, Sabonis, and Şengün is like Charizard,
Charmander.
and no, Charizard's the last one.
It's
the
a
second one.
Charmander, Charmeleon. There has to be
It's
a
those
gap between someone because Jokic is like mega Charizard. So,
two. Right.
but nonetheless,
Geo
draft
dude.
night trade scenario. I'm gonna put y'all in a shoe. We only gonna do like 2 of these. I'm gonna put y'all in the shoes of a GM in a situation. I want to see what y'all would do. You are the GM of the Portland Trailblazers. The Hornets just took Brandon Miller. No pump fakes, no smoke screens. They like him, they take him. Now your pick is wildly valid. Like a lot of teams want that 3rd pick. You could either take Scoot Henderson or you could start fielding calls. I'll start with you, Danny. Danny, you're the GM of the GM of the Portland Trailblazers. Who are you calling first to hear them out on their package? And
I
what do you
am
want?
100% saying give me Zion Williamson to pair with Damian Lillard or start a rebuild.
So essentially your options are get Z and keep Dame, or take Scoot and then probably have to trade Dame.
Yep.
Chris, let's try to keep it besides the Pelicans. I don't know how many other teams are calling up, but you're the GM. If for some reason the Pelicans are being weird, they don't want to trade up for 3. They don't want to trade Zion. They like that he's very outgoing with women.
But
You're the Blazers.
apparently,
Who are you?
very weird thing. The woman said she was about to drop the tapes if the Pelicans didn't trade Zion.
Yeah, that's
The real plot twist is
crazy.
they're working together to get him out of New Orleans. That's the real plot twist.
Yeah,
That's the real plot twist.
he really just got her Twitter password.
Literally. But yeah,
But
Tom, I got you.
yeah,
I
go
thought
ahead.
about this scenario 3 times, y'all, and this is the full trade. If I'm the Blazers and the Hornets do the full and take Brandon Miller, listen, y'all, listen, here we go. The Clippers haven't been a real team in a long time. The smoke screens all fake. Now, I do this. If I'm the Blazers, I say, hey, this is the Blazers GM. I would like to ask for 1 Paul George and Terrence Mann. I will then send you back Yusuf Nurkic. You take on this terrible contract that we paid him, and number 3. And I want Paul George and Terrence Mann. So, and then if I'm the Blazers, I resign Jeremy Grant. Now it looks a lot better. Now you have Simons, Grant, PG, Dame, and you still have trade pieces. I personally wouldn't trade Shaden Sharp. I think Shaden Sharp is going to be amazing, but then you have more wiggle room now. Now you can go get you a 5. You can try to sign a Brook Lopez. Now you're really moving. Now you got the veterans that Dame wants. The Clippers get to really start over because Kawhi is not going to be healthy for 82 games no time soon. Neither will PG. Tyronn Lue, if you could free him, let him go. You could just really start over, and then you start over with Scoot. You have your point guard for the future, then you build around that. I think it helps both teams. It helps the Clippers start a rebuild. It keeps Dame happy. You get him a top 10 talent in the NBA in Paul George, and then you get him a nice role playing Terrence Mann. You resign Jeremy Grant, cooking with gas.
Guess what though? Only problem with that, the Clippers have a brand new stadium opening next year. There is no way in hell they're going to trot out a second-year player to a brand new stadium. I think they're going to keep both of them and go try to get Chris Paul and try to go win.
Hey man, this is all hypothetical. Stop ruining the fun. We're having fun.
Oh, no, I don't disagree, Danny. I think the Clippers 100% should run it back because they already paid the money. They paid the price with the draft picks. I'm with you 100%. But I just think for the Blazers, I think it'd be a win-win in that sense. Like it's worse things than trotting out your new stadium with a brand new player like Scoot Henderson. I know it'd be a year removed.
But they already ran it. They already traded their point guard of the future, and now he's a top 20 player in the NBA.
Who are we talking about, Shea?
Shea, bro.
Shea would have never blossomed like this
Not
with
like he wouldn't have been like this, but
Kawhi
Shea
would
could
have
have been good.
Kawhi never well, he probably could have, but Kawhi would have also never came. So there's no Battle of LA. They're still they still are the little brother, but now they're really the little brother still.
Bro, they're the Nets of
But
basketball. Come on.
that's a shame because Mets still be popping, but it's just like it's the
That's
Yankees. So,
exactly. That's
yeah.
exactly what it is. The
Well,
Clippers still
except the
be
Clippers
popping.
aren't popping. They not
Sometimes.
pop that New York like Nets and Knicks are a better comparison because like the Nets are always popping for some reason. Uh, but my what I would do is I hate to bring Celtics in this. Calling Celtics. I'm like, yo, I got the third pick. You got Jaylen Brown, 26-year-old All NBA forward, two-way star. You pay him. I'll take that contract. You take Scoot, and you can have Simons as well because that's been the most uh, played around with trade package. So Simons in the third for Jaylen Brown. Um, will they accept it? I don't know. I don't know if either side would accept it. I don't know if the Celtics want to. I don't know if they want Simons and Scoot leading the charge with Tatum in an effort to win a championship. But I will say, Jaylen Brown, Paul George variant. So he is also part of the PG verse. So I think if those two other options are off the table, I think that's a good one. If I had to say which one was my favorite, I think Danny's is most realistic and Dame's favorite. Dame apparently does want Zion in Portland, away from all the noise, to say the least. Um, and of course I would like Chris second because Paul George and Terrence Mann, that's a huge get, man. And if you can get rid of Nurkic, get rid of that contract, yeah, that'd be awesome. So yeah, those are some. That was the draft night trade scenario. Is if you're Portland and Brandon Miller is off the table already, and then you could either draft Scoot or trade out of it. Now, I said we already talked about. Was there any other free agent news that we talked about? Oh, just real quick. Um, on the topic of just free agency. This isn't necessarily big news. But Chris, former Laker Kyle Kuzma is declining his player option. He's going to be a free agent. Where would you like to see Kuz go?
A team that matters. I think Kuz is that type of player. Like I think Kuz figured it out that last year in LA. I think he figured out how to be a good contributing player on a good team. I mean, Wizards. I think you kind of got to use those Wizard years as kind of outliers. He was trying to prepare for this day, for the payday, to get paid again. I would love to see him back on the Lakers. Honestly, 100%. I like him back on the Lakers or team we're just talking about. Portland, another team I wouldn't mind seeing them. And even though I don't love the city, I think Utah could use a Kyle Kuzma as far as what they're already building over there, like the younger team, and he could be a vet with champ experience type of thing. He could also be more scoring, I think. Like he could be your scoring that you need over there. So I would like to see him in one of those three places.
THT
Ready?
is a vet with a ring.
And he should also be playing in Zimbabwe.
You ready to hear this?
Go ahead, David.
Tobias Harris is going to be offloaded for money, and then they're going to get Tobias Harris variant, Kyle Kuzma, for cheap.
Oh man, if you had Tobias Harris variant, Tobias Harris low key just a Paul George variant too. He's just
a Chris Middleton variant, just two middies.
Everyone who's in a three-way scorer and can play defense, you are a Paul George variant. Unfortunately, whether for it's good or bad, but
Yo,
don't
sleep.
who's on the
Tobias
Sixers
Harris
would
locked. He locked up Tatum for like a good 5 games, and then the last 8 quarters turned into.
Do you want me to pull up the tracking stats? Because I was thinking the same thing, but no, Tatum was actually busting his ass.
It felt
But
like he was playing good defense.
No. He was the primary defender on him for a reason, but Tatum was switching off of him a lot. But look, when he guarded him, he was busting his ass. So, but no, Kuzma's a Celtic. He tweeted out last summer he thinks Boston's a nice city in the summer, and yeah, and that's all I really got outside of that one Lakers fan that y'all know the graphic of Tatum and Kuzma their rookie year, and it said Kuz had 22-year-old Kyle Kuzma at the time had higher potential than 19-year-old Jason Tatum. Oh man, Instagram, Lakers Instagram, man. Oh my God, what a place! What a place. But I mean, we already talked about Chris Paul last week. I mean, Kristaps is a name going around, I guess, because they're gonna probably look to blow things up. He could go anywhere.
Miami's the perfect fit for Kristaps. They just give up on Dame and get a power forward who can block shots and score because they have Dame at center already. I like that.
Hey, and Miami is. Name one player who hasn't been photoshopped into a Miami Heat jersey. I thought I saw Jason Tatum photoshopped into a jersey. Oh, who got the LeBron James Miami Heat Photoshop on them?
It's gonna look so real.
Could y'all imagine Cavs legend D Wade on the Miami Heat? Bulls legend D Wade?
God.
Kobe Bryant.
That team was fire.
I've never seen a Kobe Heat Photoshop.
Oh,
I
think it's
I've
illegal.
had to have seen one.
I think it's illegal.
Had to.
I think it's illegal
Because someone most likely did a swap of LeBron in a Lakers jersey and Kobe in a Heat jersey. Because you know how they do that. Every finals matchup, they'll just swap the best players. I had to see Jason Tatum in a Warriors jersey, bro. I can't do it no more. They make me sick. But nonetheless, there's not much room to talk about. Apparently, OG Anunoby is untouchable, and yeah. But
Tell
we're
me how
gonna
I
be
searched up
drafting players.
I searched up Kobe in a Heat jersey,
What?
and Terry Rozier and Dwayne Wade doing a jersey swap showed up.
That's fire.
Kobe Bryant,
Good.
Terry Rozier.
They both got that pure hooper aesthetic.
They do.
Quick question:
Yeah.
Would y'all count Brooke and Robin Lopez as good brothers?
Nah, Robin's funny, but let's be real.
I was wondering. It was on my brain. I'm sorry. Oh, Cody and Caleb. But Caleb's had a good series. Sorry, Tom. And Cody didn't.
They both. Kayla was playing a lot like Cody in the finals. It's great. They even move differently. It's weird. I only know they're twins, but nonetheless, drafting players. The bottom says players under 6'3". We're doing 6'3" and under. So obviously we're gonna shoot for the stars in the first round. I'm pretty sure I know where everyone's going for. But
did you get first pick last?
I think I got the first pick. So yeah,
I think it's my turn.
No, we'll give Chris the first. It'll go Chris, Danny. I'll get 2 picks, and then Danny. Chris gets 2 picks, and then Danny. I get the last pick. So right. Chris is first. Best player 6'3" or under.
Just because I think D Wade is listed as 6'4", and that's unfortunate. I'm picking Allen Iverson number 1.
Damn,
okay.
One of the greatest small guards of all time.
You left me Steph Curry.
Oh, I sure did. On purpose. I sure did. Take him. I sure did.
Give me Steph Curry.
Man. All right. Danny's got Steph Curry. Pretty sure Damian Lillard's 6'3". There's no way he's 6'4". I'm gonna take Damian Lillard, and then I'm gonna take one of my 5 favorite players ever. I'm taking Kyrie Irving, who is a generous 6'3". He is not a lick over 6'1". No shot.
And it's back to me, right?
Yeah, it's back to you, and then Chris gets 2 picks.
I got this hat right here. Back to the throwback days. Give me Russell Westbrook.
Bro, the fakest 6'3" ever, bro. He's 6'5". I swear, he's 6'5". So fake.
You left me Steph and Russ. Come on.
Man, that's a crazy tandem, but Chris can still bounce back. He's got 2 straight picks here.
I forgot how tall Kyrie Irving was for a second. I'm sick to my stomach. I would have picked him first. All right, so I gotta redo this. Okay. Next pick is the taller version of Isaiah Thomas, the one that paid for the Pistons, NBA champion. Isaiah Thomas.
Good pick.
So I got Isaiah. I got AI. One more person. I had it in my head. Now I can't remember it.
If you want to go for a guy a foot under 6'3", you could always go with good old Muggsy.
Oh, ew. I could, but I'm not going to do that mess. I'm going to go. Damn. Is Jason Kidd listed at 6'4"? I think he is. I think Jason Kidd listed 6'4". Oh,
How tall is
I don't
Jason
have
Kidd?
JK. I don't know why. I'm picking my favorite player of all time, Chris Paul.
Oh, great pick. Very great pick. Damn. I'm happy with my picks, but I wasn't even thinking of Chris Paul. I don't know why. But Danny, it's your final pick. You have Curry and Westbrook. Pretty awesome
Yeah,
tandem
Danny,
right
you
there.
snap.
Let me pop off and win the draft one more time. Give me Little John Stockton.
John Stockton. Wow. Little Johnny.
The mailman's nope.
All right. I already have Kyrie Irving and I have Damian Lillard. I like to think I'm a good comparison to Danny's team. Now, little guys off the top of my head. Look, this team is all about getting buckets. I'm going to take Isaiah Thomas, the Celtics one. Not like in term, like just not the Pistons one. I'm taking my Isaiah Thomas, former 28 point per game scorer. Come on, man. I missed the little guy. So I have Dame, Kyrie, and Isaiah Thomas. Chris has Allen Iverson, Chris Paul, and
Isaiah Thomas.
the other Isaiah Thomas. That's what it is. And then Danny's got a juggernaut of John Stockton, Russell Westbrook, and Steph Curry. Comment down below who is the best 3-man small guy team. And comment down below y'all 3-man small guy team.
And
All right,
why Danny's team beats our teams in the 3v3 because he has Russell Westbrook, a post-up point center power small forward.
No, for context, this is on the blacktop. I'm cheating. It's on the blacktop. My team's winning.
And we're all just gonna say an honorable mention. Mine is Mo
go ahead.
Cheeks, Sixers legend.
Yes, Sixers legend. Chris, do you have an honorable mention?
Yes, I have to think about it. This is one.
Give me 1 second, fellas. Sorry.
There you go. What is my under 6'3"? Dang, I had another in my head.
How tall is Bob Cousy?
You know what?
Cousy's under.
Bob Cousy 6'1". Let me get him.
I'm taking Walt Frazier from the New York Knicks. The Walt Frazier, the worst commentator, but one of the best dressed.
And shout out Spud Webb. Little guy. Won a dunk contest, though. That's super
I should
thorough.
have took J. Cole.
J. Cole counts, I guess.
Now, Fury has his own crossover package on 2K. What has happened to the game I love?
Didn't J. Cole play
his,
NBA after
his
that?
crossover package better than Jaylen Brown's.
What happened to the game I love?
Real shit, man. J. Cole got Kayla Martin the Thanasis deal, bro. That's crazy.
Legendary, by the way. Legendary.
Nah, real shit. But man, hey, thank you all for tuning in. If you're listening to this on YouTube, like, subscribe, head on to the audio platforms, leave us a 5-star review, leave us a download. Make sure you follow us on there, and you listen to audio. Do the same thing, vice versa. Y'all have anything to say before we get out of here?
Nah, been a great episode.
All right. All right, man. From AP New Freezer, Culture 2 by Migos, and DC Comics. You guys have a good one. Make sure you guys tune in next week.